Khan up, great day. Welcome to the house of Khan. Shalom. On the Shabbat, Managa and Blackjack. Tribe up, peace to the tribe. Quiet Storm, Sean in the house, salute, tribe up. Hey, we doing part 2 of the live stream we did earlier. We did part 1 earlier, talking about the last Khans, Managa. You know, the last Khans, the last kings, and the last queen of America, Managa, right? Yeah, we did one on Julius Pinedo or Bonifacio. Let me see if I said that right. Bonifacio. Hey, these niggas be having these names. Let me see if I said that right. He was the black king, my nigga. He was the royal king of Bolivia, my nigga. And we're gonna talk about it. We talked about it a little bit earlier, but we touched bases on that earlier live stream on a lot of the cons of America, but we ain't go too deep. We ain't go too deep in Julio Pinedo and the Bolivian monarchy. So I'm gonna go a little bit deeper in it, because you know they want to claim he from Africa and he from a royal family in Africa, just like they said about so many other cons. Bronze Flat Power God in the house, tribe up. You know, they want to claim he from an African royal family, just like they said about Gaspar Inca and Joseph Chatoya and so many others. They told the same story basically. And the Knox was always fighting from the mountains. I want to touch back on that fighting from the mountains, because I was doing a little bit of surfing on YouTube today after I did my show, and I noticed I was checking out some of the other streams that other people doing that's on this side of the fence, you know what I'm saying? And I was checking out Cuda Mayo. Salute to Cuda Mayo. Go over there, subscribe to Cuda Mayo. Shout out to Cuda Mayo. Legend of Naga Charlie in the house. Tribe up. Cuda Mayo did a video the other day. I had just seen it. It's a fresh video. He just did. I think he did it yesterday. But he was talking about the Andes Mountains and the structures that they recently found down there in the Andes, which happened to be in Bolivia. And you know, we was talking about these last kings of America, and we was talking about the royal family of Bolivia and how, you know, they was from a mountainous region. And we was talking about how Gaspar Inca fought from the mountains, how Joseph Chatoya and them fought from the mountains, and so many others. You know what I'm saying? Granny Nanny fought from the mountains. So I want to connect some more dots on that. And I was checking out Cuda Mayo video, and I was like, wow, what a coincidence. His video is very relevant to what we happen to be talking about over here. So we're going to review it, and we're going to practice fair use. Shout out to Cuda Mayo. Like I say, go over there and subscribe. Tribe up. But before we go check out Cuda Mayo video, we're gonna lay some foundation first. Like I said, we did a live stream earlier today on this last con, my naga, so-called last con, the El Rey Negro, right? El Rey Negro. You know, they call us so many names, right? One thing about it, boy, they love to call us names.
Au bon sauvage, au Négré l'Amérique.
They left us a trail of breadcrumbs for us to find our way home, my naga. They called us savages. They called us,
Et l'Amérique négrée.
you know, all kind of stuff. Here go one more. The El Rey Negro. El Rey Negro. What? El Rey Negro. They call him an El Rey Negro, right? Let's see how that sound.
El Rey Negro.
Let's see. Y'all wanna? Let's see it one more time. You know what I'm saying? How they'll say it? They'll say
El Rey Negro.
All right, so it means the black king, the Khan. Of course, we know it means the Khan. We know.
The black king.
Yeah, we know what it means.
El Rey Negro.
Just one more. They called us, right?
Negro.
So, we talking about this Khan. You know, the last king, Julio Pinedo of Bolivia, the last king of America, Julio Pinedo of Bolivia, right? The El Rey Negro, right? So let's click on this one. Let's just visit it. This a book or a movie they did about him. It says not secure. Oh man. Oh, they don't hijack me. Say long live the last king of America. They say long live the last king. Films and entertainment. A documentary about an unusual monarchy in the heart of Bolivia. They say this Nog is unusual. No, I say he's quite usual. Nothing unusual about him. Look at the Naga in his robe, man. The Naga looking official with his robe. The Naga looking like a prester. The Naga looking, hold on, man. The Naga got that crown on and that robe on. I swear that Naga looking mighty like a prester right now. Only thing he just need his staff. That's all he need is his staff. My Naga, he looking like, that Naga looking like here, that Naga looking like this. This what that Naga got his robe on. That Naga looking mighty official. That Naga really looking like the prester. That Naga looking like he looking mighty official with that robe on, man. When I saw the robe, I was like, wow. I was like, man, you know what I'm saying? You can't. I was like, you know, people can say whatever they want, man, but you know, real recognize real, man. I saw the robe and I was like, wow, you know what I'm saying? I was like, that's amazing. I was like, that is great. And I was like, saw the robe immediately. I was like, that was El Rey. El Rey Negro, Presto, my Naga. Then I saw my man, you know, Julio Pinedo in his robe and his crown, man. I was like, man, this is family, man. I was like, man, you know, you can't dodge this stuff, man. Gotta have a sharp eye, man. You gotta wake up early in the morning if you're gonna put it past blackjack. You're gonna have to wake up extra early. I got a strong memory. I got a photographic memory, my Naga. I don't know, maybe it was my time as a child growing up, you know, indulging in art. I used to draw everything I see, you know what I'm saying? Ever since I was like, I can remember, my mama said I was drawing since I was like a walk. Mom was like, you started drawing as soon as you started walking. I was like, really? She was like, yeah, really. I was like, oh, okay. But I've been an artist for a long time, all my life. And, you know, it made my eye sharp and sharp. When I see stuff, man, I don't forget it, man. I'm telling you, I got a photographic memory. People don't understand. Maybe you do. But what is this? Say the king. I don't know why I pulled up this hijack on the left side. Let me see if I can get rid of that. I just want to get the it say the black king. It say long live the king, the last king of America. Documentary about an unusual monarch in the heart of Bolivia. See why I keep doing that? Every time I stroll up and try to read it. This king has no court or retinue, no throne or possessions. See? Why? Cause y'all stole Bolivia, y'all stole America. That's why. You want to say he don't got no throne and no possessions, only a frayed red cloak and a metallic crown that he only uses in local festivities to remember his real African ancestors. Yeah, right. They love to say African ancestors, man, with no proof. And we gonna prove that they don't have no proof. We gonna talk about it. We already talked about it earlier. This part 2 though. We coming back for the rewind. We had to revisit this. His African ancestors. Yeah, right. If he was remembering his African ancestors, why didn't he go to Africa? Why didn't he get back with his tribe after all, right? Why didn't he go when he have a throne? If he ain't got no throne here, when he have a throne in Africa, that's where he was from. Something's not adding up. We're gonna dig into it more. It says Paola Garcelvis directs the documentary that tells us the unprecedented story of Julio Pinedo, a peasant. Call him a peasant, right? Oh, before y'all was calling him a slave. What is he? Is he a slave? Is he a peasant? See, what is he? You call him a slave and others, now you call him a peasant. But at the same time, black king descended from an African monarch brought as a slave from the Congo by Spanish colonizers. Surely the only king who lives in absolute poverty. Julio, 73, kind and ceremonious, has the hands of a rural worker. His rank is honorary, but he is recognized as a monarch by his so-called Afro descendants living in Bolivia. Long live the black king. El Rey Negro. See, I might have to go and buy this, and we might check this out on members only live stream. We might just buy it, just check it out with the tribe. Maybe they got an English version. Alright, so let's dig into it a little more. Alright, so we on that so-called Afro-Bolivian monarchy, and we looked at this earlier, right? but I just skimmed through it earlier. We're gonna take a deeper look, but we're gonna we're gonna pass up on all these little hijacks. We in, they gonna try to hijack all the way through it with this afro this and that. And we know he just an indigenous king. All right. It says the Afro-Bolivian royal house is a ceremonial monarchy. They want to call it a ceremonial monarchy. It's a monarchy recognized as part of the plurinational state of Bolivia. It was recognized as part of the plurinational state, though, which does not interfere with the system of the presidential republic enforced within the country. It is centered in Murderata, a village in the Yungas. Yeah, the Yungas, right? We're going to dig into the Yungas a little more, the Yungas region. Because it's important we dig in the Yungas region, because the video Cudimayo did, it touched on that Yungas region and the Andes Mountains, Managa. And I'm going to show you these Nagas was loving to fight from the mountains, right? And we're going to show you why. Cudimayo going to show you why. Cudimayo, we're gonna connect the dots. Hey, Taz Cole, the CEO in the house. Tribe Buck, Taz Cole, the CEO. Legend of Naga Charlie done pulled up. Tribe Buck. So we gonna connect the dots with that Yungas region in the Andes Mountains, and why these Nagas always fighting from the mountains. We gonna prove that they're not African, and we're gonna show you why they want to call them African and all of this here, because they got something to hide. They got a lot to hide. These Nagas was a indigenous monarchy, not an African monarchy, and we're gonna show you why they was fighting from the mountains in Bolivia. We're gonna show you what was in those mountains in Bolivia. Cudimayo gonna show you. Shout out to Cudimayo one more time. Salute that con. The powers of the Afro-Bolivian king are similar to those of a traditional king, representing the Afro-Bolivian community. He got power, Managa. There's his coat of arms, right? That coat of arms is dope, man. I gotta put this on the shirt, and I'm gonna order this myself. I might put it on the hoodie, a white hoodie. Order this myself, or just for me. I'll put it in the store. If anybody want one, it'll be there. But man, y'all don't know. A lot of that stuff I put in strictly for my Nagas. I be ordering it myself. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? A lot of that stuff be for me. You know what I'm saying? Well, you know what I'm saying? Hey, everybody else wants something, they can get it though. I definitely want to put this coat of arms there, because this coat of arms is strictly for my Nagas. That hoop, earring, crown. We checked it out earlier. It said the components of his royal house are the descendants of an old African tribal monarchy. Now we're gonna get into this old African tribal monarchy stuff, this hijack lie, and we're gonna prove how they lying. Cause remember, first off, they told you they brought slaves to America from West Africa, which we know is a lie. And it looked like this monarchy, who they claiming he from, look like it's in North Africa. You big dummy. So we already see dots ain't connecting off top. It say this monarchy was the prevalent form of the government in the history of Africa, where self-governing states, territories, and nations existed, in which supreme power resided with an individual who was recognized as the head of states. Many such blase blah has nothing to do with my man. They were brought to Bolivia as slaves. All right, so if an African, think about this, man. If an African tribal monarchy, an African royal family, was brought to Bolivia as slaves, shouldn't there be plenty of history on that? Shouldn't it be a war and everything went down? Some kind of war had to go down for you to get a royal African tribal monarchy and bring them over as slaves. There should be plenty receipts. But no, it's just hearsay from what we see. It's just hearsay, and they don't even tell you what family. That's a red flag right there. They claim to know that he's a descendant of an old African tribal monarchy. Well, what monarchy? You can't tell me. You can't tell me you know he of a family, but you can't tell me what family. See, that don't make sense. See, we don't just skim past stuff. We take our time. Like, you done fucked up now. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna interrogate your ass, and you go to stumbling. You done fucked up. You want to sit here and tell me he a descendant of an old African tribal monarchy? Well, what monarchy? Was it the I don't know. I can't even think of an African name to say. Was it the African tribe of such and such from Congo? Who was the tribe? What you should, if you know he was of African royal monarchy, you should have the name of this monarchy. It should be plenty evidence of this war, of them being brought to Bolivia as slaves. What ship they came on and everything. All that should be there. Who was the captain of the ship that brought them over as slaves? What was the name of the ship? How many of them were on the ship? How many of them were brought over on the ship? What date was they brought on the ship? You know what I'm saying? You gotta have all this. You can't just throw something out there and think we're gonna run with it. No, there's too many questions behind the question. When you say something, there's 10 questions after that. Oh, you brought him over. He was descendant of an old African tribal monarchy that were brought to Bolivia as slaves. Okay, who was the African tribal monarchy? What date did the war go down where this tribal monarchy got caught up as slaves? What ship did they come back on? Who was the captain of that ship? What ship did they get here in America? What date? You see what I'm saying? It's so many questions to follow up with for them to just throw out a lie. They say the founding monarch, Uchicho, they say he was the founder of this monarch in Bolivia. He was the first king, right? The first Khan with that they know of, right? Was allegedly alleged. Oh, that's not a fact. Anytime the word alleged is there, we're not talking facts. That's hearsay. In the court of law, allegedly is only hearsay. You need receipts to back that up, boss. If you ain't got no receipts, it's only an allegation. It say Uchicho was allegedly of Congo and Senegalese origin. Alleged. Where are the receipts? If he was from the Senegalese, Congo and Senegal, how he from Congo and Senegalese? I mean, which one? He gonna be from two places? What's his origin? And then if he from Congo, what tribe was he from over there? What went down? If he was from the Senegalese, what went down? What tribe? See, you can't lie. And they say he was brought to the hacienda of the Marquis de Pinedo in the area of Los Yungas, in what is now La Paz department. Other slaves allegedly, here go the allegations again, other allegations. Other so-called slaves allegedly recognize him as a, okay, if the other slaves recognize him, we should definitely know what tribe he's from. What tribe are these other slaves from? Did they all come on the same ship? Did they all come on the same day? Were they all victims of the same, were they all captives of the same war? What went down? It's all alleged, allegation, right? They recognize him as a man of regal background, a prince from the ancient kingdom of Congo in parentheses, right? Oh, so let's look at this deeper. It say other slaves, other indigenous people recognize him as a man of regal background. Then the colonizer got to put in parentheses. Oh yeah, we talking about from a regal background from Congo. No, a regal background from Bolivia. You want to throw a hijack in parentheses. We ain't dumb over here. Other slaves, other indigenous Nagas that they done captured, recognize him. They say, oh shit, that's the Negus. They say they done snatched up the Negus. They say as a man of regal background, a prince. When seeing his torso exposed with royal tribal marks. Okay, what was the royal tribal marks on his torso? Why aren't we getting any information on what was the royal tribal marks? If you got royal tribal marks on his torso showing he was from okay, now you saying he was from Kingdom of Congo. Up here you said Congo and the Senegalese. Now you saying Congo down here. And you saying he had tribal marks on his torso. What were the marks? Why didn't they draw them out and show them to us? Are these tribal marks really of Congo descent, or are they indigenous Bolivian? You gotta ask yourself 10 questions behind the question. Only held by royalty. He was crowned. So if this was the Kingdom of Congo tribal tattoo on his torso, only held by royalty, then that would make the assumption that all the so-called slaves that recognize him would have to be from there too. Have to be from the same place in Congo if he was really from Congo. But we know all this is a lie. He was crowned in 1823 and was succeeded. Now, boom. How you go from being, hold on, how you go from other slaves allegedly recognizing you as a man of regal background, a prince, and they say allegedly, other slaves allegedly, were these just other indigenous peoples? Because check this out, recognize him as a man of regal background, a prince, when seeing his torso exposed with the royal tribal marks only held by royalty. Now I go right there from him being a slave, recognized by other so-called slaves, and then boom, he was crowned in 1823. Whoa, whoa, whoa! What happened in between all this? He was just a so-called slave, allegedly, a peasant, allegedly, and you jump from right there telling me other slaves recognize him. They say he was royal, but he had to be from Congo in parentheses. Then boom, you jump right to the next sentence and say he was crowned king in 1823, 200 years ago. 200 years ago, Con. Does this story making it? Is anything adding up? If you're looking from an indoctrinated, brainwashed point of view, of course it's all adding up in your mind. But if you're looking from a third eye hijack point of view, you see the holes in the story, and you can connect the dots and make sense out of it. He was never a slave at all. Because if he was a slave, and then he went to how did he go from being a slave to a king in 1823? What, he broke free? What, did he fight? Was it a war? Did he go to the mountains? What went down? You left a big old gaping hole. You left a gaping hole. Nothing there. What went down? Was he manumitted? Did he become a freedman? Because he was recognized as the king. You tell us nothing. He was just recognized by so-called other slaves, other Nagas. As an ancient king, you want to throw in Congo with no receipts. Then you tell us, boom, he crowned in 1823. Naga got a coat of arms. Naga got a coat of arms. And he was succeeded by Boniface, who adopted the surname of Pinedo, the plantation owner. Pinedo, the plantation owner. I would have to dig into that. Is it really a plantation owner? Is Pinedo really a plantation owner? Did he adopt his name? Or was he so-called Christianized with his name? It say Boniface was succeeded by Don Jose and Don Bonifacio, the later of whom was born in 1880 and crowned in 1932. When Bonifacio died in 1954, the house was led by his oldest daughter, Donna Aurora. Yeah, last name was Aurora. Because of the lack of a male heir, the kingdom was left without a king for 38 years. Aurora's oldest son, Julio Pinedo, El Rey Negro, was given the title of king in 1992. The royal house was officially recognized by the Bolivian state in 2007. Now see, why would the state of Bolivia, see this is how you know they indigenous. Why would the colonial state of Bolivia recognize an African royal family? And then if you so sure he an African, you would have to be so sure of what tribe and what part of Africa, what date. And therefore, if you had that information, he would return. But all of that is a fairy tale. So you say, no, we'll just make up all of this and we'll say he's from the Congo, but then we know he indigenous, so we're gonna recognize him as autochthonous people. With the public coronation of Julio, the current king of the Afro-Bolivian community. Well, how come you Nagas in Georgia and in Tennessee and in Chicago, how come the U.S. government ain't recognizing you as no African monarchy and having you with a separate thing if all this is true? Yeah, the man indigenous. This man was an indigenous con. That's why they recognizing him. It's a cover-up. The royal house was officially recognized in 2007, right? The public coronation, the king of the Afro-Brazilian community, which was done by the authorities of the La Paz department. King Julio has a son, Prince Rolando, who was born in 1995. By 2021, he was studying law at the Universidad de los Andes Mountain in the Andes in La Paz, and preparing for his prospective role as king, stating that his ambitions were to keep pushing forward to make the Afro-Bolivian community more recognized and visible, the way my father has done until now. Man, I wish I got to know this Naga. I wish I knew this Naga, because I would try my best to enlighten this Naga on the truth about our history, not these lies, on the truth. And I would challenge anyone to show me his so-called African tribe from Congo. And you got to connect the dots with common sense. If he had a known tribe from Congo, it would be listed here. Why wouldn't it be attempts to make reconnection back with his tribe? It don't exist. It don't exist. Clearly don't exist. No evidence. All right, let's move on. All right, they got it here twice for some reason. All right, so let's look at this one right here. I see people run with these fairy tales. Look, look how they tribed up and dressed. Not even in the African style dress, my naga. It's clearly that's clearly a American, my naga, to American. You can see it. Look at, it's clear. These indigenous Bolivians inside one of the last tribal kingdoms in the Americas. It said, did you know indigenous Bolivians are still around today? Yeah, we know. Landlocked between Peru, Chile, Argentina, and Brazil, Bolivia is often ignored by its South American neighbors, but it's truly a gem. There are majestic mountains, of course, stunning rainforests and rich culture. Yeah, we're gonna get into these mountains that these Nagas love to go fight from, and the Yunga, which really is more like Inca to me. And why they was in this mountain, this region, they stay home, they indigenous to it, and I'm gonna prove it. They say located outside the capital city of La Paz is an area known as the Yungas region. Yungas, Incas. Take that U out. Incas. It's not an easy area to access because of the jungles and rivers, but it's home to the indigenous Bolivian community, one of the last remaining tribal kingdoms in the world. Look at that. The last remaining tribal kingdoms in the world, they're gonna got the nerve to call it Afro or African, and it's not in Africa, it's in America. This is pathetic. Hey, Maxine Cross in the house, tribe bus salute to the members in the house pulling up. This is crazy what these people they just put lies. They put the truth mixed in with a lie right in front of our eyes, Managa. They think you just watching TV all day, Managa. They think you watching all these old bull jive shows, Managa. Say that the indigenous Bolivians are descendants of so-called African slaves, the indigenous slaves. During the Spanish Empire, we know exactly who the stinky Spaniards was enslaving. We know exactly, all the indigenous, the Indios. They say the more than 2,000 people in the kingdom are mainly farmers who grow coca, coffee, and more. Oh, they growing all the indigenous stuff from America. Coca, coffee, and more, huh? And Mirarata, a village of around 350 people, is the center of the kingdom where Julio Boniface Pinedo is the king, Managa. He's the king, Managa. He's the king. He got a king. They tell me he got no throne. Bullshitting me, going around there playing around. It is believed that the natives thought that. Now here we go, cause I told you I keep I ain't even read this let y'all. I'm just letting y'all know we just reviewing this one together. I saw the title and I pulled it up, but I keep telling y'all they cannot remove the Negro and the Native or the Indigenous, the Primordial, whatever you want to call it, the Aborigine, the Indian, the Indios, because the Negro is the Indian, the Indios. They can never separate the two. Let's move on. Let's continue. It say it is believed. Oh, it's another allegation, huh? Hearsay that the natives, okay, thought that darker skin was more attractive. Which is why, I thought the natives was calling Europeans pale face and rednecks. And I'm quite sure the natives couldn't have been a red man. Are we talking about the same? Is the King Pinedo really the natives? You cannot not avoid talking about the indigenous people, because we know what we talking about here. It is believed that the natives thought that darker skin was more attractive. Which look at the cover up. Look at the cover up, Manaka. You really think that some red man thought the dark skin, as racist as they is today, talking about you ain't on the dog's roads, or you on the road and you was a slave and a freeman and all this here, you ain't a real Indian. All this bullshit. These people are our enemies, in fact. And they gonna sit here and try to tell you the $5 faker talking about the dark skin more attractive. It's the cover up. No, we know these people is the indigenous people. Stop playing. It is believed the $5 Indians thought darker skin was more attractive, which is why they were impressed with the skin of the real Nagas, the real indigenous Nagas, when they first began arriving to Bolivia, when they always been in Bolivia. They ain't never arrived. For this reason, it is no surprise. It ain't no surprise that the Negro is the Indian. Who's the Indian? Who's the Negro? It ain't no surprise. It is not a surprise. The Naga, the Indian, the black, the color, the non-white, the non-red man, the same person. It ain't no surprise that many of the so-called Afro-Bolivian, real indigenous Bolivians, intermarried with each other. The Amara. Okay, here you go. Here go who they really are. The Amara. Talking about intermarried with them. That's they tribe. Intermarried with them. They don't even let you enter dolls rolls with them. What you talking about intermarrying? Adopt many of their cultural elements. Such as, hell no, they ain't adopt nothing. It's theirs. They style of dressing is theirs. You liars. You liars. They ain't adopt nothing. Where the red man at? Not in. I don't see him nowhere. Fucking liars. I hate liars. I hate liars with a passion. All liars die and go to hell. It is believed that the Amarian, adopt the cultural elements and they style of dressing, and even became Amarian. That's who they always was. The Amarian Bolivian royalty. Not no Afro. Take that Afro out and put the truth there. The Amarian Bolivian royalty. According to the latest Bolivian census in 2012, more than 23,000 people identify as Amarian Bolivians, and most of their roots, and even King Pinedo, are in the Yungas. They in the Yungas. Okay, the Yungas. We're gonna finna go there to the Yungas. Cudemayo gonna take us there. Salute to Cudemayo one more time. Tribe up. The the Amarian Bolivian royal house is referred to as a ceremonial monarchy. Alright. Skip down, man. It was until 2000 tribe. We read that already. Recognized by the Bolivian state as a kingdom, and Pinedo was finally acknowledged as king despite a history that spans more than 500 years. Pinedo discovered that he was a descendant of Boniface, a tribal king. Man, not from those Senegals. Stop it. If he was a tribal king from Senegals, why would his name be Boniface? Before Boniface was prince, Uchicho, who is regarded as the founder. Yeah, we read that. We read all of this in the other one. We're going to get off this for a minute. They're going to go into some hijack cover up. So they saying the Congo, right? Uchichi was supposed to be from Congo, Senegalese, right? All right. So let's look at these Congo royal family, African royal families then. Let's see then. Let's see. Congo, the African royal family. I don't see Uchicho nowhere. I don't even see a name look close to it. And you want to claim these Americans are Africans. Because you want to steal our land. You want to fool the indigenous people of Bolivia. You liars. You liars. Traditional kings and leaders in Congo. Traditional kings, chiefs, and leaders are the epitome of tribal and cultural leadership and development in many parts of Africa. This includes Democratic Republic of Congo, who still have their royal leaders after abolition of the states, of their states during colonial period. So they still got their royal leaders when the Uchichi was over there and got brought over here. It just said, okay, wait a minute now. It said they still got their royal leaders. It ain't making sense then. The government of DRC, however, recognized these kings and chiefs in their constitution under the... Continue reading. Oh, I ain't downloading nothing off here. Close that out. I don't want to download nothing. I already got my computer running crazy. They're not even dressed the same. Look how they dress. Yeah, look how they dress, my nigga. It's a whole lot different. The spirit's different. Everything is different, my naga. Salute these cons. These cons is fresh though. Salute. Tribe up. These cons is fresh. But it ain't us, my naga. It ain't Uchichi. It clearly ain't Uchichi, my naga. Don't look nothing alike to me, my naga. Don't look nothing alike to me, my naga. These are Myrans, my naga. We just read the real tribe they from. They're not from Congo, my naga. Nothing alike, my naga. And they still got their royal families. Their royal families went nowhere. Their royal families were not brought to America. They said, however, recognize these kings and chiefs in their constitution under the Ministry of Culture as custodians of culture and traditions. So tradition, they ain't went nowhere. Some terror that must be an error, because they must meant the right traditional. Some traditional leaders also serve in government. They serving all in the government. Why they ain't get Uchichi if he they brethren? Cause he not. Some were previously kingdoms, but today are commonly called chiefdoms. Below is a list of various kings and chiefs in the DRC region. Mani Congo of Congo, okay, Congo in his name. Mani Congo Dom Antonio III of Congo Kingdom and his wife Queen Donna Isabella de Gama. He succeeded in his late father Dom Pedro the Seventh of Congo after his death in 1955, reigning for only 2 years. Okay, this I want to go back deeper than this. 1900s, she died 1900s. Founded in she died Kingdom of Congo was a royal state. Founded, so she died in 1990s. That's when my man was born. That's when Pinedo was born in the 90s. His son. So see, all this ain't adding up. Why they ain't linking up? Why they ain't tribing up? Cause he ain't they tribe. It stretched from Western Congo to Congo, South Gabon, and Northern Angola. Senegalese ain't got nothing to do with this. Its capital was at Mobanza, Congo. Still don't look like Uchichi. It don't look like none of this tribal name over here, which is a UNESCO World Heritage Site today located in northern Angola. After the drawing of colonial boundaries used today. Today there are various royal houses who claim the throne. Yeah, this staff ain't even like our staff, my naga. That ain't no staff for Moshe, my naga. Salute. That's the staff raw though. Clearly not the same, my naga. Clearly not the same. Just because you so-called black, you so-called melanated, whatever name they want to put on it, don't make everybody you. Don't make you everybody. Naim still don't look like Uchichi. Don't look like none of their names. Don't look like Bonifacio. They name don't fit in none of this. The Bakuba people, King Naim Kot, a MB Weekly, the 8th of Cuba Kingdom. Now that damn sound like Cuba. Born Kwiti, Mbokihi. See, I can't even know how to speak this tongue. Salute to these brothers though. It's the 125th king. Man, they counting kings down to the 125th king, and you got the nerve to talk about you cheating from over. Man, please talk about you cheat yo from over there, man. These people are so stupid, man. See, they don't understand, man. They don't understand. People do real research around here. And their kingdom established in 1625. He was enthroned in 1969 as the current king. So they know their heritage from 1969 back to 1625. Uchicho is nowhere in sight. Look at the tribe but Naga. The Naga is fresh now. You can't front on this Naga. That Naga fresh, my Naga. Naga fresh, my Naga. But it ain't us, my Naga. That's not your style, my Naga. The Naga don't got no pearls on. He don't got hoop earrings on. He got a different assortment of feathers, my Naga. And look at this hoodie he got on with it. The Naga is raw now. That's a raw ass hoodie he got on with it. The Naga don't got fringes. I don't see fringes. I don't see pearls. I don't see hoops. The Naga tribed up though, very tribed up. But the London and the Emperor. This Naga is an emperor. Mwant Yab still don't sound like Uchicho. Uchicho sound like, you know what Uchicho sound like to me? Uchicho sound like Chichen Itza. Uchicho sound like Tenochtitlan. Uchicho sound like an Aztec or Zapotec, my naga. That's what that sound like to me. I was gonna put it up, but I ain't gonna even go there. I ain't got to, man. The linguistics don't line up. The linguistics, the cultural dress, the only thing line up is dark skin. Only thing they gonna say is lining up is this. That's what they want to say line up. They want to say all you niggas black. So we gonna stick all you niggas in one spot. We don't care where you from. The niggas in Africa, like this nigga here, should feel very disrespected that the Europeans and the other people around the world want to stick all niggas from everywhere on his ancestral land. Who are they? Who are they to tell him that niggas from all over the world supposed to be on his ancestral land? His forefathers died and was born on and came from the dirt on. They don't say where he came from in Africa. They say he been there since the Most High said let there be. They don't explain him being in Congo. They say he been there. Yeah. They say he was of the Lunda people, which cover Congo, Angola, and Zambia. He has been monarch since 2005. Lunda Empire or Kingdom was a royal state founded in the 1600s by the Lunda-speaking people. They were ruled by a monarch called Mwant. Yeah. Man, ain't no colonizer ran up and slayed these boys here, man. I can't see it. The boys still tried up. Still tried up. Still tried up. It still looks nothing alike, Managa. No similarities. No similarities, Managa. That is not the same. You gotta be blind if you think that's the same. If you think that's the same, Managa, I hate to say it, but you gotta be a... If you think that's the same, Managa, respect other people's ancestors and respect yours. They were ruled by a monarch called the Mwant Yab. Look at the names, man. I'm probably not even pronouncing it right because it ain't our tongue, Managa. The Mwami, king of Bukumu, Nayaran Gango territory, chiefry. They Bukumu. Clearly not from Africa, Managa. Tamara Khan, Managa. Khan, Managa. Khan up. Salute. Tribe butt. Y'all hit that like. Naga, hey. Naga Hilla, he down with the boule. He got that hat on. I don't know what that hat mean. He has 3 siblings named Prince Ishmael. Name. Ishmael, the sons of Isaac, huh? Jacob and Ishmael, huh? Jacob and Ishmael, yeah. Ishmael, yeah. Remember, Ishmael wanted Jacob head at one time. Ishmael wanted Jacob head one time, Managa. Sons of Isaac, huh? Prince Ishmael Busisi. Princess Cynthia Busisi and Princess Sarah Busisi. I ain't gonna go through this. You see this long list. These niggas got this. These niggas know they family. They got their family tree back to the 1600s. I ain't messing around with these niggas. I already know Ochicho ain't nowhere in here. This thing is long. We'll be here all night. Let's go to Kuda Mayo video. Let me pause for the calls. Let me skip this little ad though, and let me turn off the soundtrack. Fair use YouTube. Salute to Kuda Mayo, y'all. Hey, Kuda Mayo did this little video. We're gonna check it out. He talking about the Andes Mountains. You know where El Rey Negro was at Yungas.
Accurate edges. See these half pipes? They have grooves and corresponding protrusions.
Fair use.
That
Salute to Kuda Mayo.
Plundered. Spanish invaders stole the interlocking copper or silver keys, which secured the stonework from earthquake damage. Until then, they had
fighting in the mountains, Managa. Pause this real quick.
Subsequent earthquakes leveled.
Yeah, you see what's in the mountains up here in the Andes. In the Tyler Kuda Mayo video right here is amazing ancient sites of South America, the true old world, advanced architecture. And they always telling you, like Gaspar Inca, they're telling you Joseph Shatoya, Granny Nanny, you know, Cujo, everybody would run to the mountains when they would break, when the colonizers would try to enslave the indigenous Naga. the Naga would run to the mountains. Break free from the chains, run to the mountains. Say, come on up here, colonizer. And they'll do the colonizer in. They'll pull out their tribal fold up chair. Boom, one side of the head. Colonizer submit. Colonizer tap out. They say, whatever you Nagas want. The next thing you know, it's another stronghold of the Naga in the mountains, in the Palenque. And this is what it was. And now, on this video of amazing ancient sites of South America that Mayo exposing the true old world, advanced architecture, they showing you what's up there in this mountain while these Nagas was whooping down the colonizers. And now they be going there talking about, wow, look at this ancient architecture. Who built this?
You big dummy.
Tribe up, salute. Wale in the house.
Structure. As late as the 19th century, there were imposing colonnades to admire, of which sadly there is now no trace.
Look like a Naga. Man, you seen that? Look at that. Hold on. Back that up, man. I'm going to take my time. Fair use, YouTube. Salute the Mayo. Y'all just see that, man.
Spanish invaders stole the interlocking.
Spanish invaders. Who we was talking about? All these Spanish slave names. The Spanish Pinedo. Who we was talking about enslaving them?
Or silver keys.
In Bolivia.
Secured the stonework from earthquake damage. Until then, they had survived for thousands of years. Subsequent earthquakes leveled the structure. As late as the 19th century, there were imposing colonnades to admire, of which sadly
like a Naga can tell some
no
ass.
trace.
Like a Naga can whoop some ass back there. It like the French, the Spanish, they'll haul ass. Nagas back there with bows and arrows. Nagas out there with fold up, all kind of stuff going down. The Spaniards out of there. They say these Nagas got it. We don't even know how they built this shit. How the hell we gonna fight them? In the mountains.
Many of the great buildings were dynamited and untold treasures disappeared. One 24-foot statue remains. All right, you see they were like blowing things up, destroying stuff, huh?
I wonder why. Let me skip this little ad. I knew they were.
You see this black box right here? Well, I'm going to show you something right now.
See these
Some
nuts?
people are concerned that they might
Let me
have
show
to
you
go
something right now, Skip.
Now we go to Sacsayhuaman, Peru. All right, make sure you check out my video on Sacsayhuaman, aka the city of David, the fortress. Yes, the citadel. That is the fortress I'm going to read here.
The Palenque.
Right? It says here the ruined mountaintop fortress of Sacsayhuaman.
Fortress. He said mountaintop fortress.
Hawaman. Pronounced sexy woman.
So they say.
Overlooks the ancient capital of Cusco. All right, overlooking the lower city, right? The upper city and lower city.
Overlooking the city
like
from the mountains, Managa. Whooping ass from the mountains.
Its terrace walls are 1,500 feet long and 54 feet wide. Enormous blocks, up to 25 feet wide, and of 50 to 200 tons, are so intricately flush one to the other, it is impossible to pass.
Look at the colonizer. Wow. Look at the colonizer. Oh, I ain't mean to hit that. Dang, man. My bad. I'm effing up, y'all.
And Chief did find something.
Even beveled.
Y'all messing up.
Water conduits.
Let me skip back up there. Y'all saw the colonizer. The colonizer was like, wow.
Lower city, just like Jerusalem.
Colonizer was like, look at this wall.
Its terrace walls are 1,500 feet long.
1,500 feet long.
Enormous blocks, up to 25 feet wide, and of 50 to 200 tons, are so intricately flush one to the other, it is impossible.
Look at the colonizer here. She might be a Spaniard or a Frenchman or somebody. She like, wow. She like, look at this, man. These Nagas are absolutely brilliant. How did they do it? These Nagas, no wonder they whooping ass up here in the mountaintop. Nobody can do anything with them. That's what she's saying. So her mind trying to imagine, how is it done? Fair use, YouTube.
To pass a knife blade between them. One block in an outer wall has faces cut to fit perfectly with 12 other blocks. There are other blocks cut with many as 10, 12, and even 36 sides. Okay? 36 sides, guys. And with no mortar between them. Take notice how each fits exactly to the next touching stones from every side, including the inner.
I was getting your ass up here in the mountains. It's on and popping. Ain't nowhere to run, colonize. You try to come in the mountains, you see what's popping. You see the magic up in the mountains.
Surfaces.
Look at this.
It defies belief.
Come on now, you trying to military your ass up in here in the mountains. The Nagas running to the mountains and they whooping your ass in the mountains. They keep whooping you in the mountain. The French, the Spanish, everybody. Gaspar Inca did it. Joseph Chatoya did it. Granny Nanny and Cujo and them did it. And the list goes on. Miguel de Barilla did it. They whooped y'all ass in the mountains. And we see what's up in the mountains. Oh, it's all making sense now.
leaf. The whole system interlocks and dovetails, making the chance fitting of each block or the grinding back and forth in situ for a perfect fit impossible. Even if it had been possible, the power required to do this would be sufficient to supply the needs of a modern city.
They
Do you
said,
see the
wow, how they do all this? They say these Nagas would have to have generators. They say, wow, they say this is ancient. How did they build these Nagas? Was very powerful. They said these Nagas would need electricity and everything, and drills and jackhammers and forklifts and all kind of stuff to do this. They said, how did it happen? Yeah, that's what they said.
problem? All right, you guys listening? This is what is in America. They're talking about savages. There was no people here.
Yeah, bone
No
savage.
great
huh?
civilizations. And they
Au bon
can't tell you
sauvage.
till this day who built Sacsayhuaman.
Who built that,
The
Managa?
Incas.
You need all man to try to build this today. I would love to see you try it, and I'm a builder. I would love to see you try to build this today with all the machines they got. I would love to see you try to do it
even
in
said
the mountains.
that it was
Let's not
already
forget.
there. Within a few hundred yards of the complex, an abandoned single block the size of a
Nagas
five-story
got a
house
Bin Laden
weighs
complex
an
out here in the
estimated
mountains. Yosef Shatoya and them, all these Nagas out here in the mountains. In Bolivia and area, these Nagas tearing y'all ass up in the mountains. Look at this. Look what's in the mountains, y'all.
20 tons. Yes, 20 tons, okay? Can you guys imagine the way, like, how did people move something like that? There is nothing
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, and the moving in the
It
mountain.
is impeccably cut and dressed. We have no combination of machinery today that could dislodge such a weight, let alone move
They
it
colonizers.
any distance. This indicates
Colonized
mastery
shit.
of a technology which we have as yet not attained. The quarries are 20 miles away on the other side of a mountain.
Oh, you got to
range
go get
and a
these
deep
big blocks
river
20
gorge.
miles away and get them
How
up in the mountains, huh?
stones removed across such hopeless terrain is anyone's guess.
It says
You
hopeless.
guys gotta understand, this is mountain tops going down trails, up hills, up valleys, down rivers. Come on. And that's what he's saying. How did they do all that? Moving on, we go to Ollantaytambo, Peru.
He in Peru.
Fortress
He finna
walls
get. He
of
finna get to
tightly fitted
Bolivia
blocks
in the second.
weighing 150 to 250 tons each.
He finna get to the
Are
Andes
of
mountains.
very hard andesite. Special tools are required to penetrate such hard rock. The quarry is on a mountaintop 7 miles away
Look at the
at a
Palenque.
10,000 feet
Fortress,
altitude.
Managa. Cities in the
Would
mountains.
you believe the builders carved and dressed the hard stone, lowered the 200-ton blocks down the mountainside, crossed a river canyon with 1,000-foot sheer rock
Fair use.
walls, and then raised the blocks up another mountainside to fit them in place? Do you guys listen to that? This is what
the
they
point he
did.
making. I look at that's beautiful. The point he making is that they can't even explain how this stuff is done. And then, like I say, when we read these stories about these so-called slaves who just happen to be from royal families from Africa, the same story. They happen to escape and build a so-called maroon community and intermarrying with the indigenous people who said that black was beautiful. Come on, man. Really? And then you turn around and show Mayo turn around and say, you know what? Let's show them what was in the mountains. Here we go. Oh yeah, I can imagine you trying to go up in these kind of mountains and getting your ass whooped, thinking you finna go take somebody as a slave. Even
Did.
today.
How did they do that? This is way more advanced than what's going on supposedly over there in Egypt. It's mostly flat.
And it will tell you, y'all Nagas had tents. They say it was tents. They say it was $5 red men in tents. Yeah, okay. Concrete masonry, Managa.
Over here in the
Managa.
Americas,
Castles
especially in
and
this
all.
area, South America, they're going
Palaces,
to
Managa,
mountain
Palenques.
ranges. You guys got to understand, that's a lot harder. How do you move that weight in ancient times? Again, they've been lying to us about history.
Oh, whole lot of line.
Wall
Mayo.
mirrors
Shout out,
composed
salute.
of 6 gigantic masses of rosette porphyry, each weigh
Cities
at
in the
least
mountains, Managa. Hold on. Run that back just a tad bit.
history. Wall mirrors composed of 6 gigantic masses.
Cities in the mountains, Managa. How you gonna penetrate that with your cannon or whatever you think you got? I don't know what you think you finna do to that right there. Still around today.
of rose-set
Nagas might need to take
porphyry.
it back to the
Each
mountains, my
weigh
Naga.
at least 20 tons, and one is 40 tons. All right, wall mirrors. Okay, the more one studies these buildings, the more one feels that a race of scientific giants built them. All right, scientific giants.
Charles Johnson in the house.
Chan
Tribe
Chan,
up.
Peru.
Tribe up.
This city of the Chimu Empire.
Now remember,
has
now
walls
look, the
of 40
Pichu.
feet.
Pichu, that sound that sound more like the linguistics that we familiar with for the El Rey Negro, right? For hold on. Julio Pinedo, right? Descendant of Ochicho. Ochicho, what Ochicho name, man? Hold on. And the Yungas, right? Wait a minute, African tribe or descendants. Oh, Uchicho. They claim Senegalese and Congo don't sound nothing like Senegalese or Congo, but it do sound like Pichu in Peru. It do sound like that. Yeah, it do sound like that. That add up linguistically. Peru, near the Andes cover all that. Peru, Bolivia, and we just read that when we was talking about the tribal monarchy. Let's go back to that one more time before we go back to Kulimayo video. Let me see what page. Uchicho. We just read that this tribal monarchy. Let's see where it covered. Let's go back to where it said where it covered. It mentioned Brazil. I think it mentioned Peru, Bolivia, and some other places. Hold on, let me go back up. Let me scroll all the way up. The Afro-Bolivian Royal House, State of Bolivia. Wait a minute. Yungas, Village of the Yungas, Traditional King, the components, Royal House, Bolivia, Slave, Chicho. We just read somewhere of the other states that was near that this kingdom covered. Let me see. Recognized Bolivian state, the powers of Parliament, University. We just read it somewhere. I know where it was at. It was in this article. This is where it was at. We read the different states that it covered. Yeah, Peru, Chile, Argentina, and Brazil, and Bolivia. Now look, Cody Mayo just showing us Peru now, keeping track. We talking the same mountains, Managa. Keep up.
Thick
Connect the
buildings
dots.
were
Don't
richly
slip,
decorated
Managa.
with
Keep your eyes
stylized
open.
animals, flowers, and geometric designs. All right, so before we continue, I want to show a video about what they're talking about. Little animation of what it used to look like.
The Earthen Kingdom, Chan Chan Archaeological Zone.
Fair use. Educational purposes, Managa.
The Chan Chan Archaeological Zone is in the desert area of Peru. It's the site of remains of the Chimu Kingdom, which thrived between
Chimu.
the 13th and 15th centuries. Numerous palaces were built by successive
Palaces,
kings.
Managa. Not tents.
The city is spread over an extensive area. The buildings were made of adobe bricks. Adobe is easily
Masonry.
eroded. The site was simultaneously inscribed in 1986 on the World Heritage List and the World Heritage in Danger List. Each palace complex has a temple and a square and forms a small town. This is the king's treasure house. The holes in the adobe blocks help air to circulate through the corridor.
Let's skip forward a little bit because it was so.
There was no system of explanation for the Chimu king's success can be found in these ditches running across the field and marine life.
It was something else he touched on that
All
I
right,
wanted to point
continuing
out.
in the book Dead Men's Secrets by Jonathan Gray, says Machu Picchu. Again, numerous remote cities lie between Goyas and the Roosevelt. One has a triple arch
Brazil.
formed of
We
stone
just talking
slabs,
Brazil.
weighing at least 50 tons apiece. How did they do it? Then we got Paraiba, Brazil, a huge ruined fortress with walls over 80 feet high and 16 feet thick, and with an inner wall which once measured 492 feet long by 150 feet.
Look at that, man. Man, imagine, you know, you in the stronghold of the Naga. They trying to put you in slavery. You all up in the mountains. They talking about you escaping with the Indians. You escaping with your tribe, man. Y'all up there like, come on up here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, come on up here. Have a seat. Stay a week. We got a chair for your ass. You know what I'm saying?
You big dummy. Now who sent you, nigga?
Why? We go to Quito, Ecuador. It says the Panecillo, a big hill within the city limits of Quito, is of such size that it was always considered to be natural.
Ecuador.
Recent investigation, however, has revealed it to be a giant, unstratified, artificial mound. Okay,
600
it's a
feet.
mound.
Artificial
Who's the
mound. 600
builder
feet high.
Over here in Quito, Ecuador, they thought it was a hill. It's a large, high mound,
Pyramid,
600
my
feet or equal to 60 stories in height. Already some surprising constructions are coming to light here. That's amazing, right, guys? So this is the
Up in the mountains, my nigga. Salute. Try up in the mountains, man. You just connecting the dots. I'm connecting the dots with my nigga Kuda Mayo over there. Connecting dots. I'm connecting the dots with him. You know what I'm saying? Just so happen to be on the same topic, my nigga, but in a different way. And this is what I mean by bringing different stuff to the table too, connecting dots. Everybody bringing their own thing to the table, my nigga. Everybody being individuals. You know, sometimes our roads intersect, my nigga. You know, you can be talking about. I might be over here talking about the last king of America, and over there, Kuda Mayo over there talking about, you know, the palenques and the palaces up in the mountains in Brazil and Peru. In the Andes, in the same place, like the Yungas, my nigga. And before we close out the show, let's visit the Yungas. You know what they're saying? They talking about the last Khan was from the Congo or the Senegalese. Then they told you, nah, he was a Mayan people, and then they was from the local Yungas area. That's where they was from. So let's look at the Yungas. Wikipedia. Let's go to Wikipedia. You know, Wikipedia got the drop and the Fort Ton. The Yungas. This article is a list of general references. Yeah. The Yungas, the Aymara, Yunka. See, they was Aymaran. They was not Congo. They was not Afro-Bolivians. They are Aymaran. They from the Yungas. Warm or temperate, and Andes or Earth. Andes Mountains, Managa. Quechua. That sound like Uchicho. Quechua. Yunca, warm area on the slopes of the Andes. On the slopes of the Andes Mountains. Yeah, it look like what Kuda Mayo was just playing in this video. Is a bioregion of a narrow band of forest along the eastern slope of the Andes Mountains from Peru and Bolivia, and extends into northwest Argentina. At the slope of the Andes Precordillera, it is a transitional zone between the Andes highlands and the eastern forests. Like the surrounding areas, the Yungas belong to the Neotropical realm. The climate is rainy, humid, and warm. So they up in the mountains, Managa. They just told you Argentina, Peru, the Andes Mountains. That's all that is what Kuda Mayo was just showing you where those palaces and stuff was at. Argentina, over there in Bolivia, over there in Peru. Kuda Mayo was just showing us that. Like I said, we just happen to be connecting dots that's on the same page on different channels. And you know, and that's why it's important to just do research, man, because you might be on one lane, somebody else might be on the other lane, then boom, y'all cross paths, y'all on the right track. They say the Yungas forests are extremely diverse, ranging from moist lowland forests to evergreen montane forests. Mountain forest, montane, what's montane forest? What that mean? Why I didn't put it up? One thing, there you go, hold on. Montane ecosystems are found on the slopes of mountains. Yeah, of course, in the mountains, Managa. The Palenque, the palaces, Managa. And cloud forests. Yeah, cloud forests. They up there in the cloud, Managas. They up there in the cloud. Kuda Mayo was showing us they in the clouds, Managa. They're in the clouds, right? He's not from Africa whatsoever. The terrain formed by valleys, fluvial mountain trails, and streams is extremely rugged and varied. It's extremely rugged. The stronghold of the Nagas, they go out there and they and it's on and popping. The Spanish tapping out. They say, man, just let these Nagas have it up in these mountains. They just not getting up there to see what we was doing. It say mountain trail and stream. It's extremely rugged and varied, contributing to the ecological diversity and richness. A complex mosaic of habits occur with changing latitude as well as elevation. There are high levels of biodiversity. Okay. Throughout the Yungas regions. Yeah, the Yungas, my naga. The Yungas, is that Incas, my naga? Is that Incas? Yunga, Inca. They threw a U in there, my naga. Like they threw an A in gas for Inca name. Yeah, up in the mountains, my naga. The Peruvian Yungas. Peruvian Incas, my naga. You know, like the Peruvian Incas, my naga, you know, stronghold of the naga. See, we just, hey, you can keep connecting dots. It don't matter as long as they keep giving it to us, you know what I'm saying? Like this Inca noble and his sons. Like the Inca, the Yanga, the Inca Managa. Down there in Peru. Is you Managa tribe, but which is still not an African, whatsoever. We can connect every dot. We can connect every dot that they give us, Managa. Every dot. Talking Yungas. Yungas my ass. Yungas where? You talking linguistics. Look at the fake. So you put these words in. Look at the fake they pull up. Look at the fake. The fake. Loaded with fake. They got jokes. One big joke. Nothing real. But when you put in the real, you get the naga. When you put in the real, they're talking about Yunga. Yunga nothing. Yanga nothing. It's Inca. YNGA is Inca. That's Inca, my naga. Inca. Not Yungas. Inca. Peruvian Incas, my naga. Talking Peru, my naga. Talking Incas, my naga. Talking Inca noblemen. Incas, the real ones. Let's say in Peru there's a difference between Yunga and Yungas. Yeah. We know it's a difference. It's always a difference. Yeah, we know. Always some explanations, right? That's all we're gonna review on that, y'all, man. Hey, man, we undefeated, man. I don't know why these people keep playing with us. To this point, man, but I mean, they got time, we got time. Hell, you know what I'm saying? I don't mind dispelling their lies, because this how, hey, one general in the house tribe up. I'm like, bring on the lies. I got time. You lie, you saying Congo? Doo-doo-doo, we looking up Congo. See the royal family in Congo, 125 years. Talking about you Chicho don't sound nothing like that, man. Stop lying, man. Stop lying. All this lying, man. See, the lies only work when people dumb. You know, you sitting around watching reality TV all day, you know what I'm saying, feeding in the bullshit. The lies might work on your ass, you know what I'm saying? But when you on some other shit, though, and you rebellious out front, you a rebel without a cause anyway. You like, nah, I know y'all lying. I don't believe nothing y'all say. I don't believe nothing them people say, man. See, that's my strength against them folks. I don't believe nothing they say. I look at everything that they telling me is a lie. You know what I'm saying? And my search is to prove they lying. And they showed me the lie one time. That's all I need to see. Fool me once, you won't never fool me again. I know you a liar. Everything you say, I'm gonna take it as a lie. That's just me. You know what I'm saying? That's just me. Yeah, and that's how Nagas need to be. Nagas need to be more inquiring, more inquisitive about the truth. About your true history, your true past, what really happened. Whatever they throw you a bone, oh, all right, throw me a bone. I'm gonna catch a bone, and I'm gonna go lick it up. I'm gonna say this bone is bullshit. I got time. Colonizers, yeah. So the lies ain't gonna work. I got time to investigate the lies. I got plenty of time for the truth. You know what I'm saying? That's all we gotta continue to do. We know they lying. Just gotta prove they lies. That's all. And I'm Blackjack. This is the House of Cons. Respect my house, or we let the donut hit your colonizer ass, or the donut split your ass, and we out. Tribe up. Peace.